Okay, all set. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. Welcome back to today's episode of What the Heck is Amtoj Gonna Open This Time. So today we have got this fine double plate. Sorry, redo that. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. Welcome back. If you're watching this, that can mean one of two things. Either the hashtags are working, or you know what time it is. So, without further ado, without going on for a tangent and a ramble for half an hour, which I hope I don't do this time, I would like to say a few thank yous to start things off. So first of all, thank you so much to all the people and individuals who helped get all the stuff that I'm about to show you. Here, Woots Militaria team, Lavjinder Singh Ji, Richard, I believe it was, and of course Mark. Thank you guys so much for dealing and bearing with me. Like, seriously, I threw them curveballs of one piece more. But no, they did a great job of restoring them within allocated budget, time, and just proper clean work. And I'm just 100% satisfied with that. And as a result, I would like to just say many thank yous to the Woots Military team and all the sellers, all the Sengs who helped get all these Shastars here. To me, you know who you are. Thank you very much. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Did my poof just fall off? It just fell off. It's okay, we don't need it. And we are going to start off with this big card right here. So this is a combo 19th century card with a contemporary mian that was made by Woots Military actually in record time, I would say. So the most interesting thing you could obviously see about this piece is the elephant head, which can speak for itself. It's kind of the elephant in the room. I'm sorry, I should redo that. Okay, so obviously the hilt is the elephant in the room. It's got a nice large Woots blade. The blade is later. This is 19th century Rajasthani, because they obviously like making these. Painted bone, which is very ornate if you take a closer look. Quite nice, quite fine indeed. It's probably not even focusing, is it? The Woots guard, the blade is of a later date, but if you look closely enough, you can definitely see the patterns. Here we go. Here's the hilt. Quite nice, the way it's been originally maintained. You don't see this very often actually, on bone. And then the Woots pattern, I want to see if we can get it to show. It's reminiscent of the late 19th century, early 20th and on Woots. It's just that kind of quality. Probably can't see it, but well, there you go. Yeah. So this is actually way bigger than what I had initially expected. It's a very darshani piece indeed. Quite interesting as well. Just this is a bit fragile, so I'll have to be careful with it. But overall, solid card. Quite like it. Next up on the largeness scale, I guess you could say, would be this fine double-bladed gold katar. Now, this is the kind of stuff that you would see in like museums. And usually you see the double-bladed katars quite often, but very rarely do you see the intact gold. So very nice double-bladed katar with, of course, the contemporary mian made by Woots Militaria. Has golden 24 karat gold shapes too. Quite small, but they're there. That's a plus point, obviously. Now I'll get to the fine gold that's on this piece as well. Right now, it's got an inscription as well, that which, if I've been told correctly, is quite interesting. But let's open this bad boy up. All my fingers don't fit, 3 of them do, but it still works. You can make it work. So the blade isn't exactly as spectacular. I mean, of course, there's double, so that's always a great spectacular thing, but it's nowhere near the former glory it once was in, due to the fact that it does have fullers, but you can't really call them fullers anymore because they're so worn out that I can't even call them fullers, but it used to have them at one point in time. And if they were any more intact, or if they were any more crisper and deeper, this would be like insane piece, that kind. But still, just to make up for the loss on the blade, that's where the handle comes in. The handle is literally almost perfectly maintained. Almost mint condition handle. It's just, let's take a closer look. All right, so here's a close-up look of the double-bladed guitar. You can see as we go down, what once used to be fullers are now reminiscent of their former glory. Same thing, essentially, on this side as well. But what is very interesting indeed about this piece, I think one of the defining features is going to be this inscription right here. Whoops, there we go. Let's take a look at that. You can see that inscription right there. So that, if I've been told correctly, translates to the protector of the 2 cities, which would obviously be referring to Mecca and Medina. And it mentions a name which I'll probably have to pull up later and show it on the screen. But that name either refers to a very famous Muslim saint or a nobleman who was a direct descendant of the Prophet and in a Mughal court. So 2 very significant people are being tied to this guitar. That's where obviously the exciting stuff happens, is all the provenance is just maybes, maybe nots. But that's what, that little key bit of mystery is what, you know, really keeps you on your toes. And essentially, that's what really intrigues me, entices me about this piece overall, you know, besides from the double-bladed thing. I'm really glad I got to show you guys this amazing piece. Before I forget, here are the shapes as well. Finally decorated, not gonna lie. Look at that. Just tiny little golden shapes, which quite fitting for the entire Mian. Quite a beautiful piece indeed. Definitely an instant favorite. Out of all the ones here, I try not to be biased, but it's up there. It's like top 3, maybe. Next up on the largeness scale is this infamous guitar that probably everybody and their mom has already seen. But before I take it out of the Mian, very nice. Very nice indeed. The handlebars are just, We also got that 24 karat golden shape. Simpler than the other one, but still there. Still small, still nice. Contemporary velvet Mian, made by Woods Militaria. Thanks to them once again. But let's take a look at the amazing work they did to restore this thing, because it was initially scratched up, damaged, and not in such a great shape that, that was told. And then once it arrived, Ginseng's like, hey, you might want to have it fixed up. And I'm glad I did. So yeah, let's take a closer look. It looks long, probably because it is nice long guitar with the armor piercing tip, mind you, just similar to the other one. This one has a story to it as well. And what I like more than anything with the Shastar is a Shastar with a story. So let's get into that. All right, now that we're close up, I'm sure you can see a much better view of this guitar. Come on, don't be like the last video. Don't be like, it's been better than the last video in the sense that things are focusing. So starting off with the blade, we got a two-tone finish actually. So mirror polished edge, and the inside is just where you can see the woots, which is reminiscent of how they used to do it back in the day with guitars. So yeah, any sensible person will tell you that yeah, two-tone finish most of the time on a guitar is a great idea. Because what's the point of the jaw showing on the outside when you're gonna, you know, do stabby stabs with it anyway. But let's go up, and I'm not sure if you can see the woots because my camera's deciding to be special again. But yeah, you can definitely see it. It's there for sure. This side as well. Phenomenal restoration work. And then we go up here. You have animals between the two bars right over here. I actually can't make out what they are. Wait, if we flip it. Yeah, no clue what these are, actually. It kuch bhi ho sakta hai, but you know, they look nice in general. Now the handlebars, let's get over here. Now, what are you? I don't know what that is, that's something. Looks like something. We'll just ignore that. Go this way, that also looks like an animal. And then you go more this way. Okay, that's more a discernible animal, you know? Maybe a leopard, maybe a dog, maybe something else. But at least you know that's an animal, right? Yep, same thing on this side. Animal. Go lower. Animal. Yes. Which, maybe that's a dog. Probably. But the cherry on top, obviously, of this piece is the inscription, right? So I don't know if you can read it. But yeah, so this inscription, if I'm told correctly, more or less says Shri Punjab Singh Ji Raja Narasimha, right? And because this portion right over here is a bit faded out, the full inscription isn't there, so we can't get the whole context. But obviously, you know, this belonged to a Raja, right? That was probably most likely the name of the person who this guitar belonged to, which was Shri Punjab Singh Ji, which is quite ironic. The guy wasn't Punjabi though, Rajasthani. So the Narasimha part, you could make a guess what that's all about. It could be like the area that he was ruler of. It could also be a reference to, I believe it was Shiva. But yeah, definitely need to look more into where this is from and what more stuff I can find out, because at the end of the day, that's everything. If it's got inscriptions, if it's got markings of any kind, you should be able to figure out more or less a little bit more about the piece you've got. And essentially, that's the exciting part of collecting, learning, and sharing. So, on to the next one. The next last and biggest and most interesting piece that we have got is this Persian Woods 19th century tabr or saddle axe. Now, the shaft is very much Persian. A congesture is late 18th century to early 19th and on. Simply, I'll explain why. But the shaft is very much Indian, later edition. So the shaft has some corrosion, not some, significant corrosion, pitting, even blade marks. When I'll show you closer up, it's got blade marks, and overall it's just, if you can notice closely, it's just tiny dents, you could say, or bends, indicating this was probably used, or most likely this was used, which that's always a great thing to know, that, hey, this thing was used at one point in time, I can use it too. Who would have thunk? So, heavy Persian Woods head, literally all the weight is just here. Just this portion too, not even here, it's just here. So if you want to swing this for like 10 minutes on end, which believe me, I tried, you're gonna get tired. But it's certainly fun to just, it's a very fun thing to just keep in your kamra kasa, use as a baragan at the Guru Kar, who knows, you know, and also chop things, because that's what axes are for. They also reinforce the shaft, because if you have a Shastar, it should be usable. So reinforcing the shaft means that I can use this without a worry in the world on it falling off, bending, denting, anything like that. So it's battle ready, essentially. And let's take a closer look. Starting off with the Woods head, we've got some fine engraving or chisel work on basically almost every side of the head, axe head. We got a tiger, lion, leopard, just a big cat eating a deer, hunting scene on this side. On this side we've got more of the same chisel work with very faded but fine golf gutty work, which, you know, you can tell this isn't just normal golf gutty work. They put some time and effort into layering it as well, which is quite nice. And I believe in the light you should be able to see that. There you go, that Woods pattern, that Woods Militaria, they were kind enough to etch it, and this is a beautiful pattern that came from underneath the axe. Now, the interesting part, oh wait, before I get into that, yeah, here's some of the shaft. I want to see if I can show any blade marks. Yeah, like see, right, oh man, right over there. Right, yep, right over there. You can see some cuts and scrapes. Yeah, you can guess where that's from. But yeah, cuts and scrapes, dents on the axe. Usually, for any art collector, that would be undesirable, but it just goes to show that, hey, this thing's been used, it's still survived, still here, and it's ready to be used again. So that's why I love it. Oh yeah, did I show the top? I don't think I should. I didn't show the top. Yep, all right, come on. Yep, here's the top. This is very intriguing, actually. It's a little flower, but these are quite distinct, which if anybody's seen that on the top of any other shaft or tabrzin, please do let me know, because that's quite interesting. Or it could just be, you know, something to top it off and close it. Nothing important. Could be, but then again, it's all in the details. This side as well, nothing much on this side. You can tell there was some golf gutty there, but long gone. So the very intriguing thing about this is that there are similar pieces that can be found in the Wallace collection, London. And the only thing that their website told me about the similar pieces was late 18th century to early 19th century, and the origin being from Iran. And while that's fine and dandy, I kind of wanted to learn more. And with the help of some other people, they mentioned a name of a certain craftsmith who just so happened to make very fine saddle axes in the 18th century. And that master craftsmith, his name was Lotaf Ali, I believe. If I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. I'm truly sorry about that. But yeah, that's the dude who made these kinds of axes. And if you compare them to other of his works, it pretty much matches up, because 18th century, Iran, make saddle axes. It's very, very probable that that master craftsmith may have just made this Persian axe head as well. It's very, very likely. But again, that's the fun thing about provenance. It's just mights, maybes, and probablys. And you know, all the definitive ones are in museums. So that's the fun part. But even if it isn't, there was obviously a lot of imitations, replicas made in Lahore of his axes, because connoisseurs at the time, 19th century, who knew of the master craftsmith and wanted some of his pieces, Lahoris would actually make them, imitate them, or try to at least. And this could be a very well-made imitation. Very well could be, because there are a few of the imitations and replicas in, let's say, I found one example in the V&A collection. So very well, this could be an imitation of Lotaf Ali's works. But nonetheless, this makes for a very interesting piece to just simply hold around and just swing around. And by far, out of all the ones I've shown you, I think it's up there, easily up there. So yeah, and with that, I guess we'll wrap up the third and most likely, definitely the best unboxing so far. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you got to learn some new things. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will try to answer them with the best of my ability. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment down below, DM me, all that good stuff. These are some very nice new additions to a collection that I plan to cherish forever and ever now. Was that all? I think that was it. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not, because that's literally it. But yes, ooh, that ding. So thank you everybody so much for watching once again. Thank you to Woots Militaria, Lavender Sengji, the whole team for the amazing restoration work and the amazing Mians. Thank you to all the Singhs who helped get all this stuff here, and thank you very much to you as well for watching this, I guess, short unboxing. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and come again. Like,